In order to understand the place value system, we have to go all the way back to the origin of counting, when man first began counting things. Let's say we're in the distant past and Caveman Joe has gone out hunting and he sees a group of swans and he quickly runs back to camp and finds Caveman Steve. And he wants to tell Caveman Steve how many swans he saw, but he can't really show Caveman Steve how many he saw, so he has to invent a name for the amount that he's seen. He has to invent a name for the collection. So this is when man invented names for the collections of things. He named, or he might have named this collection 1. He might have named this many 2. He might have named this many things 3. And so on. So now when Joe wanted to tell Steve how many rabbits he found, he could give Steve a name and Steve would understand and be able to visualize how many rabbits or swans or things there were by associating the name to a collection. Now, let's say one day Joe went out and he went hunting again and he found this many rabbits. And he suddenly realized that he didn't have a name for that many rabbits. And then he realized he'd have to create a name for every unique new type of collection. And that would be a lot of names. That was simply way too hard. There were too many names to make up. What if he saw a really big group of something? So Caveman Joe decided to invent a shortcut. Instead of creating new names for every single collection possible, he would just use the names he already had. Instead of giving a new name to this collection, he thought, well, look, isn't this collection really 5 and 5 and 5 and 5 and 1? Couldn't I call this collection 5, 5, 5, 5, 1? Then you would probably think that's a bit long. I'm going to be here forever. So what else could I call it? Well, isn't this collection actually? What if I give this a name? What if I call 2 groups of 5? What if I call that 10? So wouldn't I have something called 10, 10, 1? Could I call it 10, 10, 1? Then you'd probably think, what if I have a larger collection? I'd be calling things 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 5. That would take forever. There must be a quicker way. Well, what if I called that collection 10, but 2 collections of 10? What if I call that 20? What if I called 3 lots of 10, 30, 4 lots of 10, 40, 5 lots of 10, 50, and so on? And then what about 10 lots of 10? What if I called that 100? So Caveman Joe had invented a great system for communicating collections. Let's say that Caveman Joe decided one day he wanted to write down these collections to maybe send messages to people about how many collections he had counted. So he would have invented some symbols, some quick symbols for the numbers of things he found. So maybe he would have recorded 1 as a symbol for 1, like that. 2, he gave the symbol that. 3, like that. 4, he would write 4, and so on. And he gave started giving symbols for each of the names. Now, when he reached 10, he thought, I'm running out of ideas. What should I give? Am I going to give a symbol for every single number? He thought, there must be a quicker way. There's got to be a shortcut. So this is when he invented what we know as place value. So he thought, isn't 21 just two groups of 10 and 1? Well, if I write it like this, two groups of 10 and 1, so maybe two lots of 10 and one lot of 1, well, could then people interpret that means 21, two lots of 20 and one lot of 1? And so that's how place value was born. He might have thought, well, isn't 73 just 7 groups of 10 and 3? So when people see these two symbols side by side, they should know that that 7 represents 7 lots or 7 groups of 10. And that 3, well, that represents just 3 lots of 1. And depending on where a symbol was placed and recorded, it had a different value. And each place stood for something. So of course the first place is lots of 1, second place is lots of 10, and then third place is lots of hundreds, and we go up into the lots of thousands, and so on. So now Steve could record the biggest collections imaginable in a really easy, quick system called the place value system. Now our place value system, the one we use today, it's called a base 10 system. And we call it base 10 because we have 10 symbols to represent an infinite number of collections. So our symbols are below 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're the symbols. So to represent 10, instead of creating a new symbol, well, we use a combination of symbols. So in our counting system, when we reach 9, we don't have a symbol for 10, so we use a combination. We say, well, 10 is one lot of 10 ones and 0 ones. And let's take the number 32. So that 3 stands for 3 groups of 10 and 2 ones. Then let's say we reach 9 groups of 10 and 0 ones. And then we keep going up to 99. Well, what happens now? We don't have a new symbol to represent 100, so we'd use a combination of 3 symbols. We'd say 100 is one lot of 100, and 0 lots of 10 and 0 ones. So that's, I guess, the basics of our place value system and how it came to be. Our place value system is a base 10 system. There are other place value systems, other base systems. For example, the binary system is a base 2 system, but that's for another day.